Welcome back to Surviving with Shoeler. This is episode 10! In the past 9 episodes, we've been busy. We terraformed an entire mountain range and waterfall, built a huge forest from the ground up, clear-cut an entire village and replaced their houses with expensive apartments that low-income villagers can't afford, and much, much more. Over the course of this series, we've also gained over 600-something new subscribers and hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. We will be celebrating that later. But since so many of you are new to this channel and series, we're gonna start this video off with the world tour, where I'll be giving insights into my life and the series. But don't worry, I will be building something later on. And of course, before we continue, hit that subscribe button. Although we just hit 1,000 subscribers, we are well on our way to 2,000. I know people love to say, here before 1K, or, oh, I've been subbed since before 1K. And although it won't be true, if you subscribe within this week, I will count it as a here before 1K subscription. And all you have to do to lock it in is like and comment here before 1K. But yeah, also just leave a comment. I'm always responding to things, and I've implemented so many of your comments into this world. I read comments, okay? Hey, Real Life Skylar here with the quick cameo plug. As always, I have a cameo. All the money's going to charity. It's just about $1. Buy it through the website, not through the app. But I'm here to announce that I just made the first donation to the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. Through Cameo, we raised $33.57. Here are the receipts. I promise I did not take the money for myself, but I just want to thank everyone who bought a Cameo, and please know that it's still going on. You can still buy a Cameo from me. This is the kind of stuff you'll get. And I'm just trying to find her. You are my desire. You're all that I require. I heard that you're big into anime. I know it's enticing. You don't need to tell me. Back to Minecraft. All right, before we get to the world tour, I need to gather some resources for our build later, which I'm not going to spoil yet. It's a surprise. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to give some context into, well, this series. Let's go. So this series was ultra planned way back in January. I was not doing the greatest emotionally. Raise your hand if you weren't doing the greatest emotionally. My hand is raised. But I had been trying to create this series since January. I scrapped hours worth of footage because I thought it was too cringe. I never stayed consistent on one Minecraft seed because I could never find something that I really liked. You can actually see in episode 1's intro, there's a completely different world, and that was one of the worlds that I was trying. I was just really nervous to start this series, and so that's why it took me like 5 months to actually post something. And I'm very glad that I did, because I feel a lot better. Now that you got some context, we're gonna dive into the world tour. So here we are on the island I spawned in on. And I'll be honest, this isn't the island I spawned in on. I flew here with spectator mode. To be fair, I didn't know how to start this series, and the world spawn is kind of lame, and I was just trying to find something cool because I didn't know how to start the series, and I wanted it to be a good story in the beginning. Being completely open and honest, I did not know how to start this, so I watched Grian's first episode of season 7 of Hermitcraft, and he spawned in on an island outside of a jungle, so I flew to where an island was outside of a jungle. Sorry. So this is the route that I took. I think I went over here, chopped down a tree or something. And then this little inlet into the ocean is actually the river that connects to my base. I haven't done anything in this jungle except for like a portal over there. I do have plans. I don't know when we're gonna get to them, but I have plans for over here. It's gonna look sick. While we're boating over, little fun fact as well, this isn't the channel that I originally posted this series on. I posted it on my second channel, made branding for it, and posted it there, kept it there for a week, decided, you know what, I'm going to post it on my main channel. And here we are. So here we are in what was once a village. In episode 1, we entered the village and decided that we were going to outcast ourselves, much like the Grinch. And we set up base somewhere over here. It looked very different in episode 1, but we set up somewhere around here. In that episode, we created a TNT farm and exploded a huge cavern right over here, and then all the way over there into the river. And we got a huge start on this big cliff. I've done quite a few edits to that original cliff, and obviously expanded all the terraforming quite a bit, but a lot of the things are exactly the same as they were in episode 1. In episode 2, the main thing that we did was create this huge apartment for all of the villagers, and I attempted moving them all in, which did not work out. We got everyone sleeping out here on sleeping bags, and just a few guys hanging out inside here. I tried all I could to get all of these villagers to go move in there, but there was nothing I could do. I installed a second staircase, forced them all inside with my mine carts to claim a bed, but nothing worked. If you have a solution, please tell me. I am desperate. Also, in episode 2, we dug out a very bad looking hole all the way down here and sorted all of our items. I really struggle at organization, so forcing myself to do this in just the second episode has been a game changer for me. In episode 3, we decorated this entire thing, made this room up here for all of my cats, beautified this little cave area, and made a proper looking mound with a tower sticking out of it just because I thought it would look cool. In episode 4, we created our starter base, which was actually flipped a different way, like this. There was no interior, no decoration, nothing. It was just a little house slapped onto the side of a cliff. It was really bad. We also started this little stream. I believe we just did about up to here, and that was all we had time for. Oh yeah, and then we also made this skeleton farm that I kept hidden from you guys for 3 episodes. If you want to see that twist, which I think was pretty funny, go check out episode 4. In episode 5, we cleared out all of the villagers' homes just so that we could put in this river, which honestly I am super proud of and I think looks really great. I just can't wait to see what it looks like when there are villager homes here again. We also created quite a few trees, which felt like a very daunting task, but clearly it wasn't that daunting. It's at this point that the world tour is going to get a little depressing. In between episode 5 and episode 6, I was working on some terraforming over here, and some pillagers spawned in right about over here. I came in and killed them all before they could kill my villagers, and I activated a raid and immediately logged out. In episode 6, I fought a raid extremely unprepared, and the vast majority of the villagers here were slain. It was a very sad day, and I intend to memorialize it, I think, next episode.
We also built this super smelter.
In episode 7, I decided to take another crack at this house and listen to some commenters' advice and rotated this thing, which looks way better. It was a very good idea. I also added in some stilts, and I'm pretty sure that was all I actually did. It was a pretty tame episode. In episode 8, I did heaps of terraforming and beautifying. This thing looked ugly before episode 8, and I created what I still think is my favorite part of the world right here. I added in some custom weeping willow trees, a bunch of different types of trees, and I made this cool little cave that you would go through in order to enter my base. I think it turned out amazing. It has the perfect feel for this base, and I was just really proud of it. It was also a huge task. And finally, in the most recent episode, episode 9, we built this entire forest, swept it all the way around here, which I think looks so beautiful. We built this staircase all the way up to the house, which I'm pretty happy with. I think it looks pretty good. And then did the entire interior for this thing, which looks great. And I think villagers have already decided to move in. And that leaves us at episode 10. It doesn't look like we did much because it's just one project, but it really was a lot of work. And I could not be more happy with the outcome of this project. The entire idea behind this project actually came from a little doodle I did in one of my college assigned textbooks during class. I just drew a little house next to a waterfall, added a little forest and a stream leading up to it, and I was like, I should build that in Minecraft. And honestly, without your guys' support on this series, I don't think I would have ever finished this project. And I'm just so grateful because it always feels so nice to just be able to see something to completion. Just to think that I thought of this entire thing a year ago, and here it is. It's tangible. It's in front of me. It's Minecraft. It's not very tangible, but you know, as I already said, I did not create this series with the intention of becoming a YouTuber. I just wanted to do it to be a little more happy. But because of how big this series has gotten, I feel a little bit of an obligation to continue this. Whether that's a blessing or a curse, I'm still deciding. I don't necessarily have the time to do this, but I am making the time because I'm enjoying it. But sincerely, thank you guys so much for all of your support on this series. It has been overwhelming and has made me just really want to stick to it. Thank you again for all of your support. I believe now it is the time to finally work on the project I've been hinting at all episode. We're climbing this very steep mountain so that I can finish this project for you guys. We're in the jungle up here with the sheep ram or whatever. And we're climbing up here. And here we are. This little, I guess you could call it a grove or something. I don't know. I'm going to build something right in here. But to do that, I'm gonna just need to clear out some trees and bushes real quick. So while I'm doing that, how about you enjoy a quick little story? So during COVID, I had my very first job, which was in food service. We had to clock in and out at the start and end of our shifts, and I realized a flaw in the system. Since we were paid down to the minute, I could waste time at the end of my shift just to get paid a little bit more. Before I continue, I want to address my current and future employers. I do not do this anymore. I was young and stupid and have since realized just how horrible time theft is. But anyways, in this job, it became my mission to see how long after the end of my shift I could stay. I started out by just taking a little extra time to type in my PIN to clock out, pretending to forget it sometimes. This added about a minute or two. It wasn't good enough. So I would take a little extra time grabbing my jacket and keys from the lockers we had in the break room, maybe taking a little extra time to drink some water, combine that with the previous strategy, and we've got 4 or 5 minutes of extra time. Next, I stopped telling my managers when my shift was up. Their policy was to keep watch of the clock so I knew when to leave on time, so I just stopped doing that. Easy extra 10 minutes. I then discovered that I could use the bathroom too, so I added that to the plan, washing my hands for a full minute, maybe fixing my hair a bit, just generally taking my time. I also found out eventually that I was allowed to take a drink home too, so despite not being much of a soda guy, I would make a Fanta, Sprite, and lemonade concoction, just because that took way more time than just pouring a Fanta. With all these strategies combined, I was able to stay up to 30 minutes longer, getting paid an additional half of my hourly wage for zero work whatsoever. Of course, that would only be the case if I wasn't always at least 15 minutes late to work. So I've kind of cleared the place out of trees and stuff, and I've started kind of doing a little bit of terraforming, a little bit of shaping. I still won't tell you what this is for, but yeah, just hang in there. I think I'll do a little time lapse as I kind of terraform this thing together. So first off, I forgot to hit record on World Edit a couple times. I'm sorry. And also it's kind of hard to get the right angle since the jungle is so dense. Even though I have a vague plan in mind for what I'm building, I didn't really fully fledge it out or anything, so I was just kind of going haywire, doing whatever I thought was good. I had no plan on how this was supposed to look, and I think it looks pretty good. I will say it's a little unfinished. I do have plans to continue working on it as the series goes on, but for now it's not there yet. All right, the big reveal. What is it? Well, it's a garden, a specific type of garden. If any of you guys watch Stampy, you might know what type of garden I'm referring to. If you didn't watch him, basically he had a garden called a love garden. And basically he put a bunch of signs down to appreciate some people who did some cool things in his community. So each episode, I'm gonna replace one of these flowers with a little sign and put someone's name on it and kind of showcase what they did and show some appreciation for them. You can kind of tell from above that I have this little pink heart in the water. I kind of have this cool gradient effect right here that looks way better when it's not covered in water. But basically you use some of this opaque glass and then you put glowstone at this end and then it kind of makes it look like you have pink light. I thought it was a cool look. It didn't really fit in too well over here, but oh well. This entire thing is very unfinished, as you can see. Didn't finish texturing over here. No terraforming over there. This thing just goes off nowhere. There's nothing over here. That's unfinished. I barely have any time left to get this video out, so I couldn't do too much work on this, but I will continue working on it as I visit this more and more and more and more. And hopefully one day I will be very proud of this and it'll look very cool, but we are not there yet. Now that we've reached the end of the episode, I'm going to add the very first person to the love garden. And this person is the most important person in my life, and I could not make a love garden without putting them in it. And that person is, of course, my partner of 2 years, Ponka. They really mean so much to me, and I'm very grateful to have them, and I don't think that they deserve just a tiny little sign. So I'm putting up these banners so that everyone knows who the most important person is. Getting a little sappy, you know, I've kind of been on my own journey in like the past yearish, and honestly I could not have been on this journey if it wasn't for Ponka. They've been incredibly supportive through me and have guided me through a lot of situations that I did not have the resources to handle. And on top of that, they're just an incredibly fun and kind person, and it just feels like, you know, our personalities are just so similar, and the ways that they're not similar are just the parts of my personality that really suck. I'm just so happy to be with them and to, you know, have been with them for the past 2 years. It literally like Greatest 2 years of my life. I'm just very happy, so that's why there's the purple banners, which is their favorite color. But yeah, that's gonna end the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry there wasn't, more for you to see, but stay tuned. I got cool stuff coming next week and every week, so stick around. If you enjoyed this at all and want to stick around to see what other projects I get up to in this series, please feel free to subscribe. And of course, leave a like, leave a comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.